you're going on the video. Okay, model shots. Hey guys, welcome back. So today's makeup look is going to be this glamorous zombie that I have going on right now, and I actually got a couple of requests to do something glamorous but gory as well, and so I thought this was the perfect combination for those of you who are looking to have really pretty makeup but also have like a dark side for Halloween as well. And so if you're interested in how I got this makeup look and all the gore and all the blood and everything else, then keep on watching. Hey everyone, so today we're going in the Anastasia Beverly Hills Artist Palette, and we will be using most of these shadows for this look today. So I picked up Dusty Rose. It's that first corner, it's that first color in the upper left corner. And I'm using this as my transition shade with a Morphe 441. As you can see, I'm just blending that back and forth into my crease and then buffing it out and kind of flicking it on the end, creating a very soft cut crease. And so, as you can see, I just barely kind of brush it across, following that brow bone all the way out into that corner, and then blending it all the way into my inner corner as well. Next, I'm taking the shade Aubergine, and I'm putting that into my crease and doing the same thing as I did with Dusty Rose, brushing that out into the corner. Here's a close-up to kind of see the difference of the two colors. One's a little bit more warmer, and then the other one is a deeper purple. I absolutely love these colors together. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. So I'm taking that color, going in the inner corner and the outer corner as well, and then again following that brow bone and blending it out to shape my cut crease. So with cut creases, because they are just a little bit more detailed than the average eye look, take your time, be patient, and just keep blending it out. It should look good in the end. I have a couple tricks to show how to sharpen up the cut crease as well. Next, I'm taking this tiny little pencil brush by Morphe. I don't remember the number, but I'll link it down below. And I'm picking up the color... what's the color? Coal. I'm picking up the color Coal in the Artist Palette and dipping that into my crease, deepening that cut crease as well. I kind of decided I didn't love this brush for this this kind of look, so I took my MAC angled brush, and as you can see, I start winging that out. I'm very gentle with my movements, and then I blend it out with that angled brush as well. And then I go in with my MAC 217, and just to make sure that there's no harsh edges or harsh lines, and to kind of blend those three colors together, that's what I'm doing right here. Next, I'm taking this synthetic brush by TIGI Cosmetics and the color Buttery in the palette, and I'm just packing this on my lid, help shaping my cut crease a little bit better. And then I go and I pack it right underneath that wing, as you can see, to just make my crease stand out just a little bit more. Next, I'm taking the Too Faced glitter glue, and I'm going to pack that on my lids just using my finger in patting motions, really getting the primer deep into my lid, because we're going to go in with some glitter, and we're going to be packing this all over the lid with that crown brush. This is a synthetic brush, and it's probably my favorite synthetic brush ever. Anyway, we're going to dip into that glitter, and we're just going to pat the glitter into the lid. As you can see, I'm not going up into my crease. I'm trying to be very gentle, not going too high, because that can kind of ruin that very cut look. I'm also taking this into my inner corner and following it right underneath that cut crease outer corner as well. Again, being very gentle, being very patient, trying my best not to get it in the crease. Then I take my Morphe 441, and I'm just blending that out just in case if I did get any glitter, and also just because I want to blend those colors a little bit more. Now I'm taking a Neutrogena makeup remover wipe, and I'm cleaning up all the fallout underneath my eye, and plus the dark fallout from the eyeshadows, and making my cut crease wing very, very sharp, so now that when I go in with wing liner, it's going to be a little bit easier for me to see. I hated this particular product for this wing liner because the glitter, so I go in with my Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner in the shade Blackest Black, and it was a lot easier for me to cover the glitter and just easier to use all in all. It's very creamy, it's very black, and this product, I actually really love this product. It's awesome how inexpensive it is as well. And so as you can see, I'm just shaping out my liner. I know I do the naughty and I pull my eyelid. I know I shouldn't do that, but it's just so hard for me to get it right over my eyelids because they're so round. Anyway, back on track. Now I'm just making that eyeliner a little bit thicker because that's what I was going for. I'm going for very sharp, very thick, and right here you can see I just don't like how it was going on, so I take my makeup remover wipe and I make that even sharper. We all make mistakes as makeup artists, you know, wing liner, sometimes it's a total hit for me and sometimes it's a total miss as well. And so, but the makeup remover makes it very easy for me to clean up anything and make it very sharp, like it can cut someone. And as you can see, I'm going just a little bit thicker, covering up all that glitter. Next, I'll be taking the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser by Maybelline, and I'm just using this as my primer to fill in all my pores and my lines so that way my foundation goes on more even. I'll be using the Makeup Forever HD Foundation Stick in the shade 115, I believe. And this product I've been using for about 2 weeks now, and I absolutely love this foundation. It's very full coverage, but I feel like it's not cakey, which I love. This is the lightest shade right now. I know I'm extremely pale, but because I'm a very, very sick person or a zombie or whatever you're going for with this, it works perfectly. So I'm just taking my buffer brush and I'll be blending that out. I also applied my false lashes off camera, but I used the House of Lashes Iconic Lashes. Next, I'll be taking my Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, and I'll just be setting that foundation just so I don't crease. I will not be doing a highlight today. However, I will be doing a very intense contour. I'm taking MaskCARA Cosmetics in their deepest contour cream shade that they have. It's called Shadow. So basically, I'm just doing a regular contour. I'm making that face right there so I can see the hollows of my cheeks. And I'm just going to be doing the usual placement as I normally do. The reason why I picked such a dark contour was because I'm going for that very sunken in, very dead look, and so I really like the contrast of that very, very fair porcelain skin color against that dark gray contour color. Sorry, I'm lost for words right now. I'm a little tired, but as you can see, I'm just taking my beauty blender. I'm blending everything out. Be patient with this part because the contrast is very intense. You want to just make sure that everything's even and everything's blended seamlessly. Alright, so we're going to be taking our contour a step further. Actually, we're going to be taking it like 5 steps further, but this is the first step. So I'm taking a matte brown shadow and I'm just placing it into the hollows of my cheekbones, as you can see, and then I'll just go in and blend that out, taking it into the inner corners of my mouth because we are going for that very deep sunken in look. You definitely would not do this on a day-to-day basis, obviously, but for this look, because we're dead, you know, it totally works. And so you're just going to blend it out and you know, it's going to look great in the end. Just be patient with the blending. Again, this part was probably the most detailed part out of this entire makeup look. Then I go in with my beauty blender again and just blend out any harsh lines that I see. Alright, so next, in order to get that very sunken in look, we're going to want a small detail brush. And so I'm taking my MAC 217 and I'm drawing a line from my high points all the way down to the inner corner of my mouth. And I'm ever so lightly diffusing this. As you can see, I'm being patient with it. I'm kind of even creating a little bit of an S movement. Then I go in with a synthetic brush just because I had so much product buildup that this synthetic brush really helped blend everything out a little bit more. And then as you can see as well, I kind of create more of an S wave, like a very, very faint S. And I just go in and I blend it out using that synthetic brush. And this really helped define the lines I was wanting. Next, I take this contour brush by Morphe. I cannot remember the name of it, but it is awesome. You will want it in your collection. It's very dense and so it holds a lot of product. I am packing that on into that cheekbone. And then I'm stippling it into my skin and then blending downwards. And then I pack it on, I stipple, and then I blend it downwards, bringing it all the way into that inner corner of my mouth. Again, we are going for a very dead look, so this step is very crucial because it will really bring your look to life. I noticed this was a definite must when I wanted that very hollow look. So basically what I'm doing here is I found that this side of my face was really uneven and kind of muddy, so I'm just going back in with my beauty blender and my my fluffy brush and trying to diffuse those lines a little bit more. Again, this is a very detailed look, so if you're having any harsh lines, blend it out and just be patient with it, and I promise it will look fantastic in the end. So for the next fun part, we are going to make our eyes look like they are sunken in. So I'm taking Dusty Rose from the Artist Palette, and I'm going to start creating the dark circles underneath my eyes. Then I take Aubergine as my next transition color to add more depth into this look. And I'm just blending it out. Again, following kind of that Dusty Rose line as my guide. With this, you know, blending is everything, like I said. However, I did find that Dusty Rose looked extremely warm on my skin. And so I didn't like that at all, because as a dead person, you're not warm, you're cold. And so I take Coal from the Artist Palette and I start outlining that circle a little bit more, as you can see, and then I'm just blending it out. This definitely created more depth to this look. I was happy I decided to go with this step. And so if you're using the Artist Palette at home, maybe I don't suggest Dusty Rose just because it was very warm. And since we're dead and infected, we kind of want a reddish plumish color on our lower lash line. It definitely added to this look. I feel like it kind of made a more infected look come to life, I think. And so we're taking Aubergine from the Artist Palette and we're just running that across the lower lash line and then down by the bridge of the nose and into those deep circles as well. Next, we take what's ever left on the brush and we're going to add it in like the nostril area, just because it looked infected and it looked like I was sick, and that's what I was mainly going for this look. Alright, so this next step is optional, but basically we're contouring the nose. I'm using the same color, Aubergine, and the reason why I decided to contour my nose was because I wanted to make my nose look almost shriveled. I don't even know if that's the right word, but I was going for a very slim, very slenderizing look, and I take Aubergine just because it had that red undertone, and I guess in my eyes I just thought it made it look more infected, and that's what I liked. But you don't have to do this part. If you're not a fan of contouring the nose, then totally skip it. You don't have to do it. But if you do it, just make sure that you blend out any of those harsh lines and making sure the lines are straight so your nose is not crooked. So next we're going to focus on the hollows of our forehead area. What I'm doing is I'm creating a backwards L right here. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of like a zombie or anything like that, but you know, they're bruised, they're infected, and so what I'm doing is I'm just creating that backwards L using the shades Dusty Rose and Aubergine, I think mixed together. They were the perfect two colors to kind of create that bruising effect and yet making me look hollow at the same time. But yeah, basically what this is just a backwards L and then just blending it out, blending any harsh lines, and it worked out perfectly. So I still was hating how warm Dusty Rose looked underneath my eyes, so I take a very white shadow and I'm just trying to mute down the color, which I ended up liking because it turned it gray. So for the fun part and where we get all zombified, we're going to take liquid latex. This is from Maid, but you can get this at any local party store or probably Amazon because Amazon has everything. And we're just going to be layering this liquid latex onto our jaw and then bringing it down our neck. This stuff does dry very fast, and so you want to be quick with it. You know, keep layering it on because it's very important. It's very important that it stays nice and moist for when we stack on the toilet paper. Alright, so now taking the toilet paper, I would suggest ripping your toilet paper beforehand and not using individual squares. I was ripping while I was trying to lay it down on my liquid latex, and that was a nightmare for me just because the latex was drying so fast and the toilet paper had a really hard time sticking to my neck. So if you're going to do this, prep the toilet paper beforehand to shred it before you lay it down. I also like to stack my toilet paper. I don't like just one thin layer of toilet paper, and you'll see why. So if you can, try to stack the toilet paper because when we go to rip open the wound, it's going to look a lot thicker, making the flesh look thicker and more real. So next we're just going to cover those edges with the liquid latex. I have to hold my toilet paper down because it was a nightmare because I cannot believe how fast this liquid latex is dried. But basically you're covering the edges, making sure that there's no weird toilet paper lines or anything like that, and just laying down all the toilet paper nice and flat, getting the whole thing nice and covered so it's still wet, so when it does dry, it works out perfectly. So now that the liquid latex has dried, it's probably been about 5 minutes before I decided to rip it open. What helped me was I had my nails to help me kind of puncture a hole. So if you don't have nails, I would suggest maybe like a bobby pin or something with a sharp edge, and you're gonna rip it open, you're gonna find the two edges, and then you're gonna pull apart. You can tell on my face that this part was kind of painful because it was like pulling tiny little baby hairs, like little baby peach fuzz. So it kind of hurts, but you know, in the end, it looks so cool. So, you know, beauty is pain, like they say. This part is so disgusting, and I found it very humorous because it looks so real to me. So for this next part, we want to make sure that we make our wound look very real. And by doing this, we want to make it look three-dimensional. So what we're going to do is we're going to take black shadow and we're going to deepen those holes, adding depth to the wound. I like to take the black and also put it on the edges of where I pulled apart the skin so it's not like white little flakes of toilet paper, and to make it look like actual rotting skin. I also like to make my wounds look like they've been bruised and that they've been bruised for over time. So I like to take yellow, purples, and just kind of mix the two colors together. So now for the fun part, we will be taking blood, well, fake blood. I purchased this at TaylorMade. Again, you can get it at any local party store or Amazon, and I am just going in and I'm putting it everywhere. There's really no right or wrong to this step. I like to put it on the edges, the outer edges, inside the wound, underneath the flaps. I love how it drips onto my collarbone right there. It's just so disgusting. If you are using fake blood and you decide to use a brush using this, make sure you clean your brush right away, otherwise it will destroy your brush. So the second you're done using your brush for this step, I would suggest putting it under some warm water and some soap just to help save your brush, and that way you don't ruin it. You can see that I'm taking the blood and I'm putting it right underneath that skin flap. I just think that this makes it look more real, that there's blood still oozing out of the body, and that my heart or my throat just got taken out by a zombie. I also put the blood in the inner corners of my mouth just for a more dramatic effect. So I'm taking the shade Aubergine in the Artist Palette, and then I'm going to create like little veins with my angled Luxie gel liner brush coming out of the wounded areas. This was optional, you don't have to do it, but I kind of like the way the veins made it look, kind of more realistic and more infected. Next, I'll be taking a TIGI Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the shade Daydream. I didn't like how my lips were completely nude, so I took this gray liquid lipstick and applied it all over my lips. And that is the last step. So that is it for the end of this makeup look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I had such a fun time creating this glamorous yet disgusting zombie as well. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you can, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Pucker Up Style. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well, Pucker Up Style. And we will see you in our next video. Thank you so much. I hated that ending.
Really?
Yes. Help me. Okay, wait, I got it. Okay. So that is it for the end of this makeup. Oh, someone's coming upstairs. Ooh. It's so ugly.